if you think about it, all our soil is just like poop from dinosaurs and animals and cows.
Did you just say dinosaurs?
Dead dinosaurs.
Welcome to the Real and Relatable podcast, where no topic is off limits. We're the girlfriends that keep it real and give you different perspectives, because we know one way isn't always the right way.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Real and Relatable podcast. I'm Ma.
I'm LC.
My name is Cash.
And before we get started, please remember to like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications. In today's episode, we will be talking about positive things that we've learned from our exes. If you've been watching all of our episodes up to now, you do notice that in our episodes, we do talk about our exes, maybe not shine the best light on them, but we do want to also point out the positive things that we may have learned or have taken away from these relationships that we've had in the past, because not every relationship is bad, right? There are always good points to them as well. Unless it's toxic, then that's different. So let's say, what are some things that you would say you've learned from your ex-boyfriends?
I think the number one lesson I've learned is to just remove my ego from the relationship. My past ex, he was just so good about understanding things logically. He would say, "Oh, you like things that way? Okay, then I'll just do it." And I'm like, "Huh? You're not upset that I want something, bless you, in a different way?" And he's like, "No, if it's not negatively impacting me and us and our life, then I'm just going to do it." And it was just really eye-opening for me. I might have talked about this in one of the previous episodes, but that was a huge lesson to just be like, it's not life or death. It's just, if you prefer this way, then whatever.
And can you say that you've put that into practice?
I think so.
Okay.
In a lot of aspects, in work, and if friends like things a certain way, or, or even living together, you prefer things a certain way.
Oh, I just thought that's how you were. I didn't know that.
I think I was more particular before I was with my ex. After that, I was like, if someone is more particular about something, I'm not going to fight it. Because if it makes them happy, then that's great. I don't need to have it my way, Okay. So that was a huge lesson that I took away from him, to just not take things personally, Okay. Unless it really bothers me, then I'll say something. But if it doesn't truly bother me, then let's just let it go.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
I think for me, one thing I learned from my most recent ex is that relationships are super important, and you have to continue to put a lot of effort into seeing people, making time for people, and really like watering the garden that you're planting, because he's got clients that had turned to friends, and they've been friends for long periods of times. And so I really admire that about him, is how he really nurtures the relationships that are around him and his friendships, what he makes of it, So that's one thing that I've learned.
So not really burning any bridges, basically.
I mean, not burning bridges, because I don't think it has anything to do with burning bridges. It's more so watering what's there, giving time and effort consistently into what's there. I admire that. And also, he calls his sibling, his sister, every day. He talks to his dad like every day. And he lost his mom not too long ago. And he always says, call the people you love, because, sometimes you're going to realize that you can't call them anymore at one point. So I really admire that, like the closeness that he has, even with his family. And that's something that I'm still practicing.
Yeah. I was going to ask you, so have you put that into practice then? Because she asked me the same thing.
I have started practicing that even before I met him. But when I met him, he just showed me like how much closer things can be.
Yeah.
And I haven't mastered it.
But
I'm trying, more so. But it's like we're creatures of habits, and I'm going to keep trying.
Yeah. What about you?
I feel like mine's very vain.
Okay. Tell us
Or
more.
like very like shallow. And I don't mean, and when I say this, I don't mean it in a bad way. And I don't mean it as if like I hated myself or something. I did learn to care about what I look like more often. Not that I didn't care before. I mean, I cared that I didn't look like a slob. But I think what he really taught me is to put more effort in presenting yourself better to people. I mean, he was all about looks, but that is also a good thing as well, because if you see in our Pretty Privileged episode, we do talk about making sure that you put yourself together. It opens up more opportunities for you. And I don't mean it in, I feel like it's going to come off really negative the way I'm saying it right now already.
I'll support you.
Okay.
I get it.
I don't know, people are going to be like, oh, he told you that? Well, he didn't tell me that. I just, through the way he presented himself all the time. I mean, in the relationship, I did feel like I was always trying to catch up to him in regards to making sure that I look good or look good next to him.
Yeah.
But I think what I got away from that is just, hey, it does help you to put yourself together and care a little bit more about what you look like when other people see you or how you present yourself to people.
Yeah. I want to add to that and clarify a little bit because like in our culture, the way you present yourself is important, especially if you're from a certain family or a certain background or whatever. And he comes from a family where they have a certain kind of like prestige and public image. And it was important for him to look a certain way, right? To be out and about. His parents probably taught that his entire life. Like you need to look a certain way to represent the family. So he probably had all this pressure. And then with you dating him, he wanted you to also be presentable in a certain way. It doesn't mean it's right or wrong, but it's the same thing in a lot of different cultures. Like if you're family in a different status or, whatever, it's different, And so basically your takeaway is that it is important to be put together and to have the hair and the makeup and the clothing and look really put together. And I think it's a good lesson. I mean, like, I don't think I appreciated all of this growing up because my parents were always like, you need to look a certain way, you need to talk a certain way, blah, blah, blah. And I used to hate it. I used to be so upset all the time. Like, why can't I just wear my baggy jeans and my ripped jeans?
Let me just be myself.
Yeah, why can't I just be myself? And I really hated it. I just felt like I was always rebelling against like what they wanted my image to be or what the family image is supposed to be. And they were always like, when you date somebody, you need to make sure these things as well. And I really hated those things. But now that I'm older, I realize there is some importance to it because people like in our Pretty Privileged episode, they take you more seriously. There are certain advantages to looking put together. So I don't think it's a bad thing to recognize that, hey, I should put more effort into the way I look. It shouldn't be the end all be all of your existence. Yeah. That's vanity. I think that's a nice lesson.
I agree. I have one partner that I had dated who was an MC and a rapper, poet. And he always told me, oh, I have to hold up a certain image because I'm this person. And you're also an artist, so you also should hold up a certain image because people will see you no matter where you go. And I just thought, God, I'm so used to going to Target with no makeup on or running to CVS looking all like, I hope nobody sees me, But it makes sense. I think that for me, I wasn't self-aware until after college, like I never wore makeup. I just didn't get it because I'm the oldest, so I didn't have aunties or older sisters to show me how to do anything. My parents didn't set any standards of how this is how you guys have to present yourself, they didn't set any standards. So I never grew up with that. So I don't know what that feels like, but it is good to be aware. I do agree with you.
Yeah.
But I want to ask you, Ma, how was that? Because he's a guy, you're a girl. So how was it that he was so on point about his looks and style? Was it he styles his hair? Is it his dress choices? How did he upkeep his image so much that as a female, you're like, whoa, I have to step up my game?
Yeah, I mean, I'll just clarify. He never said that I look bad or that I need to match.
It was a self-recognition.
Yeah, and he never said that to me. He never was like, "Oh, you need to match me," or "You need to like."
You just feel it.
You felt it.
I
get
just,
it.
Yeah, I just felt it. I mean, if he said it to me, then that's toxic and that's a different story.
Yeah.
But no, he always maintained his physique. So yeah, he did get chubby, but not chubby to like we're so big, but he always maintained his physiques. His hair was always done. I mean, he was blessed with nice skin, so it doesn't matter.
But it's the effort, presentation.
Yeah, his hair was always done. His outfit was always on point, meaning like he cared about how the outfit fit. Because some people put on clothes and they're like, oh, this is good, but no, he cared about how it fit in like certain spots. Like, oh, this isn't fitted because it doesn't fit here, or it doesn't show off a certain like body part that he's trying to show off or whatever. And he is also very much like with the trend. He's probably the only one I knew that wore capri pants.
I mean, guys did start wearing shorter workout body pants. It has become a thing,
but not like a workout body. No, he wore like capri, like he wore like the longer one. Did it work?
That is kind of interesting.
Yeah,
imagine.
Have we ever seen that? Was that a thing? A style at one point?
No, like
in the 90s or 2000s?
Yeah, well, yeah, it was when Quest was still around.
Capri pants for men.
Well, he wore it.
Okay, but not other men.
I mean, he was the only one I knew that wore it. Okay. So, but he can pull it off though. That's the thing.
So he's stylish.
Yeah, he's very he's very stylish. But not only that, but like if we go to like events like where you do have to wear like nice suits or nice button down, he does make sure that it fits him properly.
Yeah.
Whereas I know most people just kind of throw it on and it works.
Ill-fitting,
or
whatever.
Yeah, like it's clean, But no, he like cared about that. So I guess I didn't.
You just learn by watching.
Yeah, that I'm like, okay, I do need to, instead of just leaving my hair flat and gross and disgusting all the time, maybe I should curl it and add some volume to it and put a little bit more effort into my hair. My makeup was always on point, but that's different because I was a makeup person. But even with my clothes, it was like. Yeah, at one point I did get really big and didn't really care what I looked like. But then, it didn't help that he maintained his physique, but I didn't, So that was hard for me. But that's a different story. But when I was thin, I did care about what I wore. And even when we do go out, I would ask him for his opinion on like what I would wear, what I should wear. Yeah.
Well, you still do that a lot.
Yeah, yeah. But I feel like I feel like I've always done.
Yeah,
I've always done that with him, so I feel like it's just kind of trickled into the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Like, oh, does this look okay? Like, does this match? And he does give actual real opinion, like, oh no, that doesn't match, or like you should try this instead. He's not gay. He's just he's just stylish, into his fashion. So that's all.
Metro.
Yeah. I
don't know what that means anymore.
I don't either.
Metrosexual.
It used to be
metro style.
No, metrosexual means somebody who cares about the way they look, so they groom themselves. Like they gel their hair and they like their clothes are fitted.
But I think that's kind of a European look too. And Californians are more stylish than the Midwest. Dare I say that?
Yeah.
Hey,
well,
he's a
more south than Midwest. Most places
Midwest.
are.
He's born and raised in the Midwest, so he must be a odd duck.
Ahead of his time.
Yeah, he must be an odd duck, but born and raised in the Midwest. So
interesting.
But what about other little things that you guys learned? So I'll say mine was, this is very small, but my first ex-boyfriend taught me how to drive a manual car. Well, because, your parents teach you how to... Okay, my parents didn't teach me how to drive. I was actually taught by my guy friends. And so then when I started dating my first ex, he had a manual car. So then he taught me how to drive it. And I feel like that's a skill that... I feel like that's a unique skill for a woman.
Most women don't have that.
I don't know how
to...
Some guys don't even have that.
Yeah, I know. Similarly, my ex from high school taught me how to drive a manual car because my dad had a manual Toyota Camry. Yeah. And the same day he taught me, I dropped him off and I drove myself home. It was a thing that stuck with me because my car up until 2 months ago was still a manual car, not the same Camry, but it was still a manual car that I had forever. So similar to that. And it's funny because some guy friends, sometimes when we would go out, there's been guy friends who said, okay, I'll drive us.
And they get in the car.
They're like, oh,
I can't drive.
Never mind. And I'm like, oh, I thought you knew how to drive a manual.
Yeah, then you get to sober up and drive yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think something funny that I learned from my ex is like just really how to grocery shop and then how to store things when you come back from the grocery. Because I just never really learned that. Like, I didn't even learn how to cook until, like, maybe my junior year in high school. Like, it was, up until that point, like my mom never asked for help. And then finally she's like, okay, I'm going to teach you how to cook. And I'm like, oh my God,
I
no.
think it's time now.
Yeah.
You're 25.
Like it's time, you know?
You're going to be your
oh
own,
my God, no.
your own person.
Really? I thought somebody was always going to be cooking for me.
You're like makeup and cooking the same year.
Exactly. I mean, thank God she taught me so I know how to get around the kitchen, even though it's not something that I love to do. I do it when I feel like it. I do it more when I have a partner or we're living together, then I do it more. But if it's just, I'm just by myself, then I don't really do it. I don't go through the trouble. But my ex, when we were living together, we go grocery shopping together. And it was just like crazy. He would like go down every aisle, pick out the things he need. He had a grocery list. He would compare prices.
Okay, I'm not that crazy when I shop.
He's like meticulous. He would, buy everything he needs. And then when you get home, prep, right? Like putting things where they need to be. Usually I just kind of throw things in the fridge. The meat, he would like cut it up into chunks, into servings, portions, put it in freezer bags and put it away.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I have never done that before. So I learned that from him. And she was like, you never did that? Didn't your parents do that? I was like, yeah, they did. But it just like showed up when I opened the freezer. It was all in there, So it wasn't like,
how you buy
I never did that.
Never thought about how did it get here?
Yeah, exactly. When my mom's like, okay, can you take out this thing from the freezer and like let it thaw? So when I get home, I'm going to cook. Okay. Like it was already there,
Yeah.
So it's such a funny little thing, but it's like just watching a man who do this too, who actually like learned this skill. I'm like, oh my God, okay, that's how I'm supposed to adult, So that's a funny thing that I learned.
Adulting one-on-one.
Yeah.
Things that you learn.
How to grocery shop. Somebody I dated taught me how to fish and
I love that story.
gut fish. Yeah. So, and scale fish. So, if there's a fish, if we catch a fish, if it's the end of the world and the fish are still alive and I catch one, I can kill it, gut it, and cook it for you.
Yeah. You love fish. You love seafood, right?
I love seafood. Yeah, I love seafood.
Yeah, it's good. It's healthy.
Yeah, it is. So my ex, he loved fishing, but I hooked the worm for him. So
Ew.
Oh my God.
I could never do that. I could hook minnows
Oh.
and bait, but I cannot touch worms or what
the night crawlers and the
thingy that sucks your blood.
leeches.
Leeches. Yeah, I can.
I can't use leeches.
I can't do
fish?
fish. I can't do
use
leeches.
leeches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can do everything but leeches. For some reason, something about leeches
Oh,
kind of like
gross.
makes my skin crawl.
See, I don't eat a lot of meat. I do eat meat,
Yeah.
but not all the time. And so every once in a while, I'm like, okay, let's go to Korean barbecue because I haven't had meat all week, But it's like sometimes it makes me think like, but this is what animals are eating, and then we're eating it.
What do you mean?
Because they're eating worms, and
Oh, yeah.
now you're eating the animal.
Oh, yeah, but it's
a
like
process.
yeah, and you're not eating the stuff in their stomach.
You are.
No, you're not. I mean, unless you're eating that one dish, our cultural dish. That
I
one
mean, if
is-
you think about it, all our soil is just like poop from dinosaurs and animals and cows.
did you just say dinosaurs?
Dead dinosaurs. We're
Everything
basically
is
dead dinosaurs.
leftover ancient. Everything. No, there's dinosaur poop in the world behind some mountain somewhere.
Yeah, there's poop in everything. Okay, we just had this whole poop conversation. earlier.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, so it's fine.
You should be eating poop.
No,
Poop,
well,
supposedly.
Okay, don't listen to her. It's a whole conversation. And we're gonna do another episode for that.
Yeah, yes.
But yeah, Cash. Besides driving a stick, anything else that you really learned that you want to give credit to them?
no, but sometimes you learn it indirectly
Yeah.
because you know what doesn't work.
Yeah.
So like I know like what doesn't work. I learned from an ex is, I was always nagging and telling him, I'm not happy about this. I'm not happy about that. And but then I realized, gosh, I should have just been more like positive reinforcement for the good behaviors and been smart. Like don't just throw a fit and burst out when I didn't get things my way or he didn't react the way I wanted him to react, but be smart about it, be more directional. And, it's like you got to be smart in how you communicate because if you're just reacting, it's not going to be effective, and then he might grow bitter
Yeah.
Like, how come you're always complaining, nagging, not happy? You know, so you just gotta communicate smart.
So that's something that you learn to be a better girlfriend.
To be a better girlfriend, but also to be smarter about how to get what you want in a relationship, by using positive reinforcement and by speaking it and asking for it directly, and reward him when he's doing things right. You know what I mean?
Yeah. One of the most profound thing that I have realized recently is that, and it's not like a lesson for me to learn to do anything, but the profound lesson for me is learning that I was very loved by my exes, and it's something that I appreciate so much. Even though the relationships didn't work out ultimately because we're different people, I felt loved and I was loved and valued in the relationships that I've been in. And I feel like that has helped me to be like such a strong, independent person because I just felt very loved. And so that's something
And
that
valued, which is
and valued. And so I feel like that really helps to make me whole as a person. I don't really need anyone or need anything because I always felt loved by people around me, you know.
I think that's really good.
It's a beautiful feeling.
Yeah. Because it's not like my disastrous relationships. But okay,
I don't know. Yeah.
To be fair, 2 out of my 3 exes, I did feel valued as a girlfriend.
Yeah.
Did I feel love? I don't know. That's a different lesson. But yes, I did feel valued in 2 of the 3. And then I would say, I think what they all taught me is to actually be in a relationship with somebody that I actually like versus being in a relationship just to be in a relationship.
Yeah.
Because I feel like, sadly, all 3 relationships, I felt like I was in a relationship because that's what
we're supposed to do.
That's what I am. I'm a girl. I'm a nobody without somebody, right? So that's what's kind of been ingrained in me. So I was in these relationships just to be in a relationship.
The 2 exes that you were not as interested in, they're the ones that made you feel the most loved and valued. But the one that you were chasing and fought harder for, you're saying he didn't make you feel as valued and loved as the other 2.
Yeah.
But I think that's normal. When we're chasing something that is not given to us, then of course we don't feel like they're giving us what we need. You know, the love and the value and the attention that we want, you know. So I think that's normal. Like if I'm chasing after somebody, they're obviously not like giving me what I want to feel secure in this relationship.
Yeah, and I think I was, and a part of it was too, I was holding on to that relationship to be in a relationship too. Because it's not like I couldn't have walked away at any point. I could have, but it just, as time goes on, you just kind of feel trapped. Like, I can't leave.
I have to try to.
I need to
too much.
I need to make it this work because I cannot not be in a relationship, right?
Yeah.
So I need to be in a relationship, right?
But you were also very young with the first 2.
Yeah.
Well, at least the first one.
Yeah.
In your question of what I learned to help me become a better girlfriend, I think the communication, learning to be a clearer communicator, like what you said, is I haven't learned the lesson of how to communicate to get what you want.
I haven't either. I just recognized it. I didn't master it.
Send it to them in a text. Wait until they read it and then unsend it. Just I'm kidding. Don't do that.
I don't know if it works. Why not?
No, I think you just be direct, right? I mean, it's not like I'm not a pro. From what I hear from what guys are saying is just tell us.
Yeah, exactly. Like not be afraid to tell them in a kind way how you're feeling, how that's impacting and what you want changed. And also like taking a moment to really think about what is upsetting you, what's the root cause of the problem, instead of just like blowing up.
And being emotional.
Yeah, and being emotional or holding it in, adding all these things onto my list and then eventually blowing up, you know? So
I feel like girls do that. Don't
they?
they?
We do.
Yeah, we tend to do that. Guys do that too, but girls do it a lot.
Yeah. So I'm trying to get better at that. And I've been practicing a lot in my more recent relationships. And I think it's really helped me to be more stable.
I went on a date with a guy and he said that he listened to our podcast. He said, "Oh yeah, I listened to your decoding girl talk and what it means." And then and he said what our friend Vic said, VP said. he said, I learned that I don't know anything. And then he was like, that episode confused me more. And then
We're confused too.
so I was laughing, and then I said, yes, it's true. You know, women are more, because he said, you know, with women, I wish that you guys could just tell us what you want.
Yeah.
You know, like stop dropping hints. You know, and then I did say, you know, you're right. Men are more practical.
Yeah.
He's like, if I'm asking you if you want to do something to celebrate and you say no, then I'm gonna be like, she doesn't want to celebrate. You know,
They take it at face value, you know?
so he's like, it's confusing. And then I did say, I acknowledge that women have to do a better job, myself included, at just asking for what we want.
Yeah.
And sharing how we feel, and stop thinking, well, they should know. They should know better. They should know how I'm feeling. If they know who do you even know who I am? They should know that it's my birthday's special to me. Valentine's Day, he should at least try to do something special. But it's like he's like,
They don't know.
just tell, as men, just tell us, please.
But I feel like I don't want to have to tell you or ask you. I feel like you should
But
just
you have
do it.
to. But we have to.
Ma, you
You basically,
Just be
it's
romantic
true.
and just do it.
You know what? That is so true. Just freaking do it. Why are you even asking?
Yeah.
Why?
You don't
If you're
need
asking, does that mean that you
We're going
don't
back to
want to do
square
it?
one.
Okay.
Yeah. We're trying to evolve. We're trying to get better.
Learning to communicate.
Trying to
Backtracking.
communicate. Just tell them you want to go on a date for Valentine's Day and you should do something, right?
Yes.
Like you said, yeah, I'll tell him if he asks if I do want flowers, I'll tell him, yes, I want flowers. And men want us to say it, you know. So that's what he said at our date when he talked about that episode. So,
Oh, you know, okay, one thing I did learn from my ex, he does give thoughtful gifts. And and he tends, I mean, I give thoughtful gifts already too, but he does do, I think he was the one who started the like thoughtful, like handmade or more, I think, memorable
Is he a girl?
I don't know.
No, he's like stylish. He's like giving thoughtful gifts and handmade gifts.
Yeah, because he like this is how long ago we dated. So like when the Android, I forgot what kind of was. It was the first Android ever to come out. I wanted it, and he was gonna get it for me, but he couldn't get it. So then he made this like box, like he painted it and everything. Like,
That's so sweet.
and then
That's
cute.
so he just put the money for the Android in there, and then he made like a little Android like cut out.
Cute.
I never had exes like that.
Yeah,
That's extra thoughtful.
yeah. So he would do things like that, or like, I mean,
No wonder you stayed with him for so long.
I mean, it's not like he gifts me things very often, but when he does gift me something, it is very thoughtful.
The more recent.
Yeah.
Oh.
And or like
nice.
yeah, it's not like he bought me flowers very often, but you know, he'll do sweet things. Like everything's usually handmade, or like he'll buy something, or he'll paint it, or he'll like, you know, take time into actually crafting it together.
Wow.
So because he did do that, I did put more thought into when I gifted him things. So like I got him like this mosaic of, so there's this photo of us when we first met, and it was like of us kissing on New Year's Eve, and I turned it into a mosaic of all of the photos and images that we had together. So I gave it to him like during our like 5 or 6 or 7 years being together. So we had a ton of photos together. But it's just basically when you look at the photo, it looks really,
it's like a mosaic of New Year's, but inside is
inside is all these little photos, and if you step back, you see the photo of us.
Wow,
kissing.
that's cool.
Yeah, so he taught me how to be a little bit more thoughtful and think about what I'm gonna craft together for someone if I'm gonna gift them something important.
Nice.
Well, before we wrap it up, is there anything else you guys want to say positively about your exes? They weren't all bad. They were decent.
No, I don't think I ever dated like terrible guys. Maybe one guy.
Not all one. Just kidding. Yeah.
But I think there's always good things and bad things about every one of us.
Mm-hmm.
No.
I agree. I feel like there's a equal contribution to good things and bad things in any kind of relationship. It's not just one person. It's a combination of people, right?
Yeah.
It's both parties.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I think that for me, I am very grateful. I've had, really wonderful relationships, even the toxic ones.
Yeah.
We had our
Yeah.
our
Yeah.
toxic high-highs.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
Oh my
like
God.
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like, oh my God, this is so toxic, but
Yeah.
you're like, it's
But I'm in
exciting and
love.
amazing.
The sex
I'm in
is great,
love.
just so you know.
Yeah, exactly.
But
That's the
like,
main reason why you keep going back.
but like, I cherish every chapter of my life.
Yeah.
I cherish every relationship, every person I've been with. I'm still friendly with everybody except for one. I feel very lucky to have loved and to have been able to give love and experience these interactions with other people.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, I would agree. I mean, and I joke about it all the time where I say that, I shouldn't have dated some of the ones I dated, but I think it's still good. There's good moments and good times, and they weren't all bad people. I think individually as a person for the three that I dated, I think individually they're not bad. They're not bad people at all. I think we just weren't
Work together.
Yeah, we just didn't work together. I mean, one was way more toxic than the other one, but it's just, I think it was just the nature of us being together for that long and just basically torturing each other down this decade-long path. But, it's like we did it to each other too. So I can't just blame him for it too. But there's also good things about him too. So,
Yeah.
okay, we're going to wrap it up here. So it's not always bad, okay? Exes aren't always an a-hole. Some are, but not all. But if any of our exes are watching, see, we don't always bash you. We do say nice things about you guys too. But thank you guys for tuning in. We will see you guys in another episode. Bye, guys.
Bye.